You're listening to the Todd DeFazio Show on Idiot Radio. Taking it to the edge.
Baby, let's go.
Yo, baby.
Hello.
It's the Todd DeFazio Show. We are broadcasting live on location. Special location today, Hannah. Did you see that?
This is nice. I feel like
we took our vacation. We came back, and I got all kind of field trips for us. And Brett's here.
Absolutely.
For those of you that get to view the show on Facebook, you get to see the treats that Brett brings to the studio. And today, I think I have a guess, Hannah, who Brett is dressed like today. And I already warned our VIP guests about what Brett was going to be doing today.
Yeah.
I
thought it was going to be a wrestler, but
he's not.
It's a pleasure to be here. Righty then.
Okay, so
let's get right
Brett
to
Ventura.
Yeah, Ace Ventura.
Pet detective. Oh, gee. So, yeah, that's...
Pekingese, hyperactive, lost in Highland Park area. She was half dead when I found her.
Oh, boy.
Fantastic. All right, we're doing this, right?
Brett Paradise.
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
Brett Paradise,
I need
everybody.
to start dressing up in outfits or
all the
do
way.
some kind of
Do
like...
you, though?
I'll have like a secret identity or something like you.
Well, you could be like, could you be Cher and then I'll be Sunny? I'll grow a stash. I'll do the whole nine. I got bell bottoms and everything. We can go
I'm
that.
totally down.
We can go that route.
I don't
We
know.
can go that
I'm
route.
not participating, I don't think.
No, you just you can be like you can be like the Colonel Parker and just
Sure.
wear like a
Right.
like the KFC get up, like the all white outfit.
Well, it's like I said at the beginning, it's a very special show today. We are on location at Redbeard's, right up here. Where we at there, Brett? Do your Yinzer. Where we at?
Okay, first of all, when you're coming down West Liberty Avenue, you go and make a left turn right there at the Tubes. All right? And then you go up Warrington, you go past the beer distributor. They got iron on sale. Yeah. So you go past there, and then you come to the five-way turn where the Dairy Mart's at, and you're like, these guys are like, where are you going? You don't know where you go. So then you make a left turn. Next thing you know, you're down Southside. So then you come up the hill, then you're right there on the outside of the Tubes. You got to go up Grandview Avenue all the way over to Shiloh. Then they got parking everywhere. You can't parallel park. Nobody knows how to parallel park now. It's unbelievable.
Where are we, though?
I don't know. Where are we at? No. We're at Redbeard. We're at Redbeard's on Shiloh Street right here in Mount Washington. Pretty good in that.
Yeah, Redbeard's.
I got automatic deposit in my checking account. My disability check's in there, and I'm going to eat some all-you-can-eat wings in that.
Very good. You already got the plugs going. We're at Redbeard's 201 Shiloh Street right here in Mount Washington, PA. Right by the Overlook, right around the corner.
Yeah.
Maybe we can take some photos after.
Beautiful. Sure.
Some show
Yeah.
photos since Brett's in costume. But this show's going to air on a Monday. But today is Wednesday. We're taping like we normally do.
Absolutely.
And it's Wing Wednesday, which is amazing because it's all you can eat wings for $13.99 with a beverage purchase.
And I'm telling you right now, when you told me that they had all-you-can-eat wings when we were planning this last week, when I was over his house, we were planning this, and he said all-you-can-eat wings on Wednesday. I started fasting yesterday morning to make room in my stomach to gorge myself because, hey, listen, all-you-can-eat wings, I'm milking this chamois for all it's worth. You know what I mean?
Smell around me is enticing.
So something that we've been talking about for a while now is, the big diet that's going to start 1 year out from the wedding. Well, today is the 14th. Tomorrow, the 15th is 1 year out from the wedding. So we're going to start the diet. And so this is the best way to kick off my...
Oh, yeah. Do it big. You got to go
my
big.
My last night of eating bad.
We'll be wheeling you out of here tonight.
Right here at Redbeard's.
If the Food Network had like a movie of the week, this would be like your last night out. Like your last night. It's like your bachelor. It's like your bachelor
the
party.
Hangover,
for
but
food.
for a diet.
My diet bachelor party.
This is a diet bachelor party. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
That's
Instead of strippers, we have wings.
Appease the god that is Todd. Give him some wings. because the rest of the time he's going to be eating rice cakes for a year.
It is a big deal that we're here today at Redbeard's for all-you-can-eat wings and broadcasting right here on location. But there is another reason why we're here. We are celebrating Moore Park 80 years celebration Saturday, August 24th from 10
Get the
a.m.
golf clap going right there.
to 8 p.m. There's all kind of great stuff going on. And for those of you that follow the show and follow Idiot Radio, know like Brookline is like, I'm not from Brookline, but it's like it's my second home. That's where
Boulevard Lounge
one of
is
my
my favorite local
South
bar.
Hills is close enough.
that's I call Idiot Radio my fifth child. So Idiot Radio was born in Brookline.
Oh.
The first show we did, Village Idiot Show, was in Nick's place in the basement.
Down in the bowels.
And then, we broadcasted from all the bars pretty much on the lounge and some of the other bars on the street. We've done a lot of work
I love
with
Brookline.
the Teen Outreach, our friend Caitlin over there. And, we've even had the original Idiot Radio studio was inside the Brookline pub.
It's a good pause for the cause, man.
It's a second home to me. And, I always have, a soft spot in my heart for Brookline. And when our guest that I'm going to bring on called about being a part of this 80th birthday celebration for Moore Park, I jumped on it because, I think I'm like a wannabe Brookliner. I don't know if I'm actually a Brookliner.
This is where I hang out. Brookline is where I hang out. It's my local watering hole. I live right down the street. My grandma grew up in Brookline.
Yeah.
My mom grew up in Brookline. She went to Resurrection. So, I mean, it's in my blood. Brookline's in my blood.
But at Brookline Boulevard, that's where I met my first girlfriend. There you go. Met my first girlfriend right on Brookline Boulevard outside Hank's Doghouse, right there on the main drag right there. I had my first kiss there, which, I mean, with the illustrious career that I have at 38 years old, first kiss, that's a big deal. Brookline Boulevard has a lot, and they used to have wrestling shows at the Cedars of Lebanon right there on Brookline Boulevard, too, that yours truly participated in.
So we're all running down our history of Brookline and how much we love Brookline and how honored we are to be a part of this. Let's not keep the guy waiting. The guy that's putting this whole thing together, and as I'm doing things and getting things ready for this event, I've noticed or I've found out that this guy is like the unofficial mayor of Brookline.
Oh, really?
Let's welcome to the Todd DeFazio Show on Idiot Radio, Tony Garino, everybody. Welcome, sir. It's a true honor for you to be here today.
Listen, it's really, really nice to be here with you guys. This is fun. I'm having a good time. And first off, I want to send a shout out to Len Semplis. He's an MPU alum, Moore Park University alum.
Absolutely.
And,
all right.
And he graciously allowed us to step in here this evening and do this little prelude as to what we got coming on August 24th.
This is the warm up, and you got Brett Ventura here.
The pregame.
Pleasure to be here.
When he walked in the door, I knew it was a fun gig. Right.
I warned you. I warned you before you came in that something crazy was going to happen.
Yes, you did.
And Tony, it's a huge honor for you to be here. Let's just start off with this Moore Park celebration, 80 years. It's Saturday, August 24th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., rain or shine. It's completely free to the public, and I'm hearing that the swimming pool is going to be open to the public as well.
Yes, absolutely. When we were kids, there was never a charge to go to the swimming pool. You just showed up, and you went in and you started swimming. But over the years, the costs, continued to escalate. They had no other choice. So working with city parks, we are part of the, my daughter and I are Garino Group Productions, and we do a DJ, event planning, entertainment. So I kind of got tagged with this thing, about a year or so ago. And I had my granddaughter with me, and we were walking up the side of the steps. And I looked up at the building, and it said, Moore Park established 1939. I thought to myself, wait a minute, 2019, that's going to be 80 years. I said, if we don't do this thing now, we're not going to be around for the 100th. So we figured we better pull it off now, and that's when we got started. We attend the monthly Brookline get-togethers. The guys always try to get together every month. Some of the guys from the hood, and you know, we talk about it. And I kind of got tagged with this because of the work that my daughter and I do with our little event planning service and production company. So we started putting it in motion, and we created this idea. We started with a T-shirt. As a matter of fact, my nephew Dino, you see some of the work around the room here. He's a sports artist. So I asked Dino to come up with a Moore Park University T-shirt. Kind of like kicked off a little bit. Yeah. And then from that point, we kind of built from there. And I immediately reached out to the city of Pittsburgh and contacted Councilman Anthony Coghill, who is our district councilman. And the city of Pittsburgh people have been great. City Parks, Councilman Coghill's office, they've been awesome to work with. Something like this back in the day, years ago when we were kids, because I grew up in Brookline and Moore Park, every year, the 4th of July, we had a great picnic. The city of Pittsburgh put on a great picnic right at the park, and there were rides and games and fireworks and movie and vendors and rides, all kind of things, parade, and it got lost. It got lost. So we figure, it's time to try and, make this thing, resurrect this thing, and make it happen. So with the help from a lot of sponsors that we've been talking to, they're on board. And to be honest with you, when I talked to some of the guys from the neighborhood and told them what we were doing, it wasn't that difficult to get them on board.
Yeah.
Like
you said, though, that it was a big to-do on 4th of July. And that things like that have gone away, and traditions like that, and it's good to have guys like you around to resurrect these things, because our kids and grandkids, they don't get to experience things like that because they're gone.
Well, that's interesting that you said that. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm just another Moore Park kid. I'm just one generation, and there are generations before us, and there are generations after us, and I'm just one of the Moore Park kids. And fortunately, now that I'm retired, I had the time and I had the resources to reach out to different people and get this thing to bring it fruition. And we're close. It's coming down in 10 days. So I'm on the other side of the coin.
When this airs, it'll be in 5.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're coming fast. So we're planning for a fun day. We're going to be there from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have a lot of stuff out on social media. My daughter is involved with that. I feed her the information, and she just kind of makes it happen for me on that side. And been working with the City of Pittsburgh Special Events permit people. They've been a great help. So we're going to be there from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. that day. We're going to open up sharp at 10, and we have entertainment going on all day. We're going to have food vendors. We got a very cool antique car cruise coming.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, very, very cool. One of our sponsors, Martin Auto Gallery, Butch Martin, him and I go back forever. Matter of fact, I saw the piece that he was bringing just yesterday. My wife and I were over there, and he has a 1984 bronze Buick convertible with a saddle, saddle interior.
Yes.
Oh, it's really cool, and he's going to bring that over. I had a guy call me the other day from Beltsville, Maryland.
Oh, he wants to come out.
Yeah, I wants to come out. Yeah, I said, do I have to sign up? I said, no, I should just come on. First come, first park.
Nice.
So we got some good people that we're working with that have experience with the car cruise, and I'm relying upon them, and I trust what they're doing. I know we can make that happen. We're going to have entertainment all day. Obviously, kicking off at 10 o'clock is going to be the Todd DeFazio show.
Yeah.
We're going to be here, Hannah and Brett.
Absolutely.
If Brett came like this today, I am nervous to see what he's going to come like. A good nervous, though, because I know it's going to be magical.
The Ric Flair robe would always be a given. To wear the Ric
Even
Flair.
with the weather permitting?
Oh, absolutely.
If it's 95.
You put that on. That is all weather conditioned.
Like a heat wave, you're going to still wear the robe.
He just made up my decision for me because this thing's exquisite. You got to see it.
I can't
You gotta
wait.
see it.
We're looking forward to it, man.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
we
good.
are looking forward to it.
I might have to hold off on the blonde wig. I might just dye this more, and then it'll just be glorious.
We're gonna let you rock and roll with that.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, listen, man, this thing is free to the public, right?
Yes.
So it's free. So you
Absolutely.
you can do what you want. So you guys are going to be there going
It's gonna
on.
be, we're gonna have our tent set up.
I'll get all my yinzers to come out.
Our prize wheel. We're gonna give away some prizes. We got some wristbands, stickers, frisbees for the kids. So we're excited to be a part of it, and then to be on stage and to announce some of the acts. You said there's a lot of besides the antique car show. There's going to be some other stuff going on, right?
Yeah, actually, thank you for reminding me of that, Todd, to make a little note for myself. So I did that when I come in. After you guys open up the show, open up the event at 10 to 11, we have DJ Koss coming. He's an original bleacher creature from Moore Park, and he's a DJ. And when I invited him, I mean, he was jumping out of his skin. So DJ Koss is going to be there from Mike Kosler, Mike Kos, and he's going to be there from 11 till 12:30, and then at 12:30 we got the family team of Benny and Matt Fiello, the Fiellos, will be. They're going to be doing very cool strolling mandolin and guitar. They're going to be there from like around for an hour from 12:30 to 1:30. Then we have coming in. We're going to have a Gaga Ball pit for the kids. The Boy Scout troops are going to have a Gaga Ball pit down in the little field. And what else we got going on? We have.
Do you have food trucks and vendors coming?
We have the food trucks. We got some local people up there. We have the Antonio's Pizza. We have Olive Oil's Pizza.
Very nice.
Coach's Lounge is going to be set up. Doing some work. Redbeards, obviously, are one of. Actually, Redbeards was our very first sponsor.
Right.
Of this event. And,
all right.
Shout out to Lenny and Tammy.
Redbeards.
They're great.
I haven't been here in a long time. This place is so nice inside. The little porch outside. All you can eat wings is one thing, but the atmosphere here is just it's everything you want in your local bar.
You gotta love the big screens. The big
screens all
are
over,
fantastic.
TVs.
I mean, they put them on all the channels that you want.
Now you have 6 degrees of separation, Tony, to some of the artwork in the place, right?
I'm sorry, say that.
There's 6 degrees of separation for you with some of this artwork that's all over, the amazing artwork from the Pittsburgh Steelers and things like that.
My nephew Dino is a local sports artist. He's a Moore Park University alum. So he's been doing this ever since he was a kid. He started doing T-shirts over at the park when he was 10, 11 years old. So, as a matter of fact, that Moore Park University T-shirt is going to be on sale. At the event. So we're gonna have that going on.
I need one in a men's medium or whatever it is.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I need it in a medium.
A medium, I got you.
Hannah wants one in a
requests
medium.
for those.
I need a men's medium too. I just,
Oh, okay, we wear the same.
You and Hannah wear the same size?
Yeah, wait, we wear the same size.
Oh no, I'd probably be going more Dwayne Johnson with the tight shirt. So
another thing I wanted to mention too, we got the very cool act coming. Bobby V is a kid that I met in town about a couple of months ago. He was doing a gig down at Mellon Square, and I kind of approached him. We just started talking back and forth, and what a great kid he is. He'll be there. Actually, he's going to be working for a couple hours. He's going to be there from 1:30 to 3:30. He's a one-man band acoustical. He does a lot of cool stuff. Seeger, Dylan. So he's going to be there for a couple hours. The City of Pittsburgh, we have coming, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, it's called City of Pittsburgh Roving Art Cart. And this is something that's really, really cool for the kids. They got spin art. Clint's been telling me. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And Clint's going to pick up a little bit on that as we go. But City of Pittsburgh Roving Art Cart is going to be there for the kids. The Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts are going to be there. They're going to have things going on. We have Todd DeFazio show coming back at 4 from 4 to 5. They're going to be back on. And then
we're going to be on stage,
We're
Brett.
just taking over that whole day.
Yeah.
We have a local band, the Worms. They do the Zooks. Yeah, they do a good job for us. They always step up. They do a very good job for us. So they'll be
They're
there.
like the Brookline Temptations, right?
Well, I don't know.
Everyone loves the Worms. I've never seen them.
Yeah, this will be my
never
first
seen
time.
the Worms, but I hear great things.
Okay. Yeah, you'll like them. They're a good crew. They're local guys, and they do a very good job. They do a lot of Beatles stuff. They do some original stuff. which is kind of cool.
I'm all about
we'll
that.
We'll have fun with that. Wolfie, the comedian's going to be there. Brett, you're going to like Wolfie.
Formerly known as Buzz Nutley.
Well, I meant to say that again.
Formerly known as Buzz Nutley. He's changed his name so many times.
Wait, what?
His name is Wolfie, Matt Wolfarth, but he has more names than Apollo Creed from the Rocky movies. But Matt Wolfarth, Wolfie Comedy, he's a great stand-up, does a lot of great Brookline jokes.
That's cool.
The people are going to love him. They're going to relate to him. A lot of people know it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He's been he had a really big career at one point. And
you mentioned earlier you thought he was on a Carson, did a Carson show?
He did some TV somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly where.
Yeah.
But let's at this point now we have a Brookline historian in.
We do.
So
we do.
Let's welcome to the Todd DeFazio show another person. He's in charge of the Brookline Connection Facebook page and website, brooklineconnection.com. Let's welcome to the Todd DeFazio show, Clint Burton. How you doing, sir?
Thank you, Todd.
Welcome to the show. This is
great to be here.
This is great. Just talking to you from the beginning of the show. There's a lot of cool things. So I don't even know where to begin. How about we just begin with what made you start the Brookline Connection website?
Long story, but I've always been fascinated with history, and I was working with the Brookline Area Community Council back in 1998, and they wanted to start a website. So I started a website for them, and I thought the big draw to get people to come and see your website would be to post Little League history and football history and community history, and it sort of started to grow from there, and sort of eventually branched off, and it just became our community website.
Yeah, and it's a big go-to. I mean, I even follow the Facebook page, and getting into some of the images. I was telling, I think I was stealing some of the images for this broadcast on the show, but so it's great. It's a great thing. A lot of people probably thank you a lot for that, because it's a great tool to have and just to go for the memories and things like that.
They do, and that's really important. I've always felt that keeping our community history alive and presenting it to the younger generations so they can look back and see how the community grew and developed, some of the personalities in the community. For instance, Joseph F. Moore, who Moore Park is named after, a big personality at the formation of the community and through the 60s. So I think it's just really important to keep history alive, and so we can all know where our roots are.
So 80 years ago, the park came about.
Moore Park, yeah.
So what on the history of why that location and all that?
Okay.
Do you have anything on that?
Actually, Moore Park has an interesting history. Joseph Moore, as we were speaking of, he was the principal of West Liberty School from 1900 through 1940. He was also the principal of Brookline School from 1909 through 1940, and he even took over Carmalt School for a while from 1937 until he retired in 1940. Now, Joseph Moore was a champion of children. He truly believed that a way to keep kids away from juvenile delinquency was to give them a playground, a place to play and develop and socialize, and that became a big focus of his. Now, back in 1912, he managed to get the city of Pittsburgh to lease some vacant land, some vacant lots that hadn't been developed yet in the area between Wedgemere Avenue, Rossmore, Galleon, and Pioneer in that square. And they built, that's where he had the Brookline School Garden. That was the very first of the city of Pittsburgh school gardens, which became a very popular thing throughout the 50s, where the kids would, on recess, they would go out and work the gardens. They would tend the fields, they would grow the produce, they would eat the produce at school during lunch, and they would sell the excess to make money for, supplies at school. And the program got around to a lot of the different city schools. But anyhow, beside the school garden, he had a baseball field built and a playground behind that. Now, interesting enough, Brookline's first baseball team in 1914 was the City of Pittsburgh champions.
Wow.
Right there at that field at Wedgemere. Now, in the early 1920s, the developers who owned that lot decided it's time to build houses there, so they nixed the field. And the park, that was the end of that. So Joseph Moore, he had a temporary park built on land next to Brookline School, and that lasted from like 1923 until 1929. And when there was a school expansion, they used that land. So once again, the park is gone, and that leads us to Moore Park. But we have to go back a little bit. Joseph Moore had this idea of Moore Park long ago. In 1918, he convinced the city of Pittsburgh, actually it was 1919, excuse me, a century ago, so exactly 100 years, he convinced the city to lease 20 acres of land from Elizabeth Paul, who was a very prominent landowner at the time, right off of Pioneer Avenue. And one of the provisions of this lease was that it would eventually be developed as a park, but the 2 acres that adjoined Moore Park, they were able to sublet out. So beginning in 1919, they subletted this area out to the Bob O. Link golf driving range. So from 1919 through, about 1920, through 1932, Brookline had, like Cool Springs, we had our own driving range right there at Moore Park. Now, eventually, after the Brookline School temporary playground was lost, Moore really lobbied the city to develop this land. So beginning in 1932, development began. A baseball field was built right there right on Pioneer Avenue, and in September of 1933, the Joseph F. Moore Playground was dedicated. So that was Brookline's first official city playground. And that started in 1933. Now, the development of the actual park went slowly from that point, a little piecemeal here and there. The city would allot a little bit of money, so development went slowly. First, they put in the tennis courts, they expanded the playground. Time went on. But eventually the big kicker was when the government, the Works Progress Administration, got involved. They brought in a lot of funding, and they built parks all through the city. And Moore Park was one of the places where they allotted their resources. So from that point on, beginning in 1938, development went quickly. The big field was built, the bathhouse and the swimming pool. The playground was expanded. The tennis courts were finished. And on August the 9th, 1940, the swimming pool officially opened, and that was the day that Moore Park was completed.
Yeah.
So they chose 1939 as that was when things really started rolling, so that's the official date that's on the plaque inside the bathhouse.
I have to commend Clint, because he just rattled off the entire history.
I'm like, okay,
of
we know
Moore
the
Park.
history of Brookline.
He has no paper in front of him, no notes. He just went right off the top of his head. All the entire.
I want to.
Thank you.
I want to get him on Jeopardy somehow and have that be one of the categories.
That's what we should do. Brookline Jeopardy.
Brookline for 500.
Jeopardy.
Brookline.
Clean it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Brookline Jeopardy down the center.
Hey, there's still
honestly,
more.
you know
There's
what?
still more, guys.
Clint, I'm
Hosted by
taking you
Tony
on.
Garino.
I probably won't know as much as you, though.
Hey, let me tell you about Broadway Tony. We'll get there.
See, I could do the
man with the white shoes.
I could do Brookline trivia from like 2012 on. You have all the old stuff covered.
I've got the old stuff covered. I got the new stuff covered. I got it all covered.
Oh.
BrooklineConnection.com.
Absolutely.
.com.
All
Love
right.
it.
.com.
Well, before,
The only reason we did that, you talk about the white shoes, right? I told you, we were legends in our own minds. So what we lacked in talent, we made up in art.
that's one thing about Brookline is very stylish area.
I'm telling you.
Give me a minute to expand on Broadway Tony here.
I was
Back
gonna
in the
say,
60s,
yeah.
when the Brookline Royals
I
were
thought he was
the-
going to like bust out in Frankie Valley or something.
back in the
back in. We do a little Sinatra maybe.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that.
back in the late '60s when the Brookline Royals were the premier Sandlot team in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah?
Tony Garino here was the quarterback. Okay, this was the same time when another Broadway Joe Namath, was out there making a legend for himself.
That's
Okay,
right.
okay.
Wearing
Yeah.
the white
Very
shoes.
well.
Wow.
Wearing the white
Now,
shoes.
my grandfather, Dan McGibney,
right.
was a sports writer with the Post-Gazette, and he coined the term Broadway Tony Garino, the man with the white shoes.
Hey.
Okay?
That's all I'm going to call you
the
from
legend
now
was
on.
born.
Yeah, that was
Broadway Tony.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brad, that was really cool because we play on Friday nights over at Moore Park, right?
Yeah.
What's really cool about that.
Tony, just talking to the mics
Okay,
for like a
what would be really cool about that, like the next morning you'd be out and about, and like, you'd walk into a local pub or something, and you'd see two dudes sitting at the bar talking about the Brookline Royals like we were some type of these guys are talking about the football game.
Local celebrities.
We had a lot of fun.
It's like that movie Varsity Blues where all of Brookline shuts down for the Brookline Royals.
Exactly, right.
Well, everybody shuts down and that's it. That's
Exactly,
it. Okay.
exactly. But going back with Clint's family, his grandfather, his grandmother, they were pioneers up at our. We come up through the Little League program, and they were fantastic people, and I had a connection with them. We just hooked up, and it was really cool. And I carried the rest of the time we were in with Brookline there till the end of their lives, actually.
Well, just thinking of nicknames, my grandfather was real big on giving everybody in Little League a nickname.
Tag.
He did all the
That's
write-ups.
a lost art.
He did all the write-ups in the Brookline Journal, and believe me, anyone who played Little League had a nickname.
That's right.
Now, here's
That's
a little Brookline trivia. What was Clint Burton's nickname in Little League? I was Big Bo.
big
Oh, there you go.
Friends still call me Bo from time to time.
Well,
All right?
it's interesting that he says that because about nicknames. Mr. McGibney, his grandfather, told me that back in the early '40s, there was a receiver that played. This is how we made a connection, him and I. He was a receiver for the University of Pittsburgh. His name was Honey Garino. That was his name, right?
Yeah.
Well, then he tagged me with Broadway because of the white shoes.
Yep.
And I just
Sure.
did that to make a head game. When we
Yeah.
went into the other fields, especially when you played away, you showed up with white shoes. I was playing with their head.
Yeah.
Like I said, that was very important. Like the time they lit the dummy on fire and they lit me on fire. Right. Well, anyway, then I got tagged Broadway Honey Garino, and that's how I got.
Well,
tagged.
we got both of you here. Let's start with you, Clint. Your favorite memory growing up as a kid in Moore Park?
I have many. We'll stay away from the keggers behind the field, but the times that the police chased us. But really, as a young teenager, I lived over in East Brookline, so it was a good 1.5 mile walk up to Moore. So I would walk the mile up to Pioneer Avenue. We would hitch our way down to Moore Park, and we would spend the entire afternoon there. And if we were lucky, somebody didn't tell our baseball coach that we were there, and then he wouldn't give us hell about swimming all day when he told us not to.
You weren't supposed
Yeah,
to swim
but-
when you had a game that night.
Yeah,
That's
you
correct.
don't
But
want to
we-
wear yourself out.
We just spent all that time, and I have such wonderful memories of those maybe 3 years of my life going down there almost every day. The pool was a little different then. We had the deep end, which is 6 feet now, was 16 feet. We had a high dive. We had 2 low dives.
Olympic size. That was
And,
an Olympic size pool.
Well, what
And
happened?
where today was a rather big day at Moore with the field games for City Parks, and there may have been 300 kids there. When we were there was 1,500.
Little League is such a big, with all the talks and everything. Little League is such a big tradition in Brookline.
Oh yeah.
You know, the Little League program now is awesome. They get to participate in the Mayor's Cup. And
Oh, yeah.
A couple teams this year won the Mayor's Cup.
Hey,
I
Brookline
believe.
was represented in 6 of the 7 Mayor's Cup games. We had our pony team, our Little League team, our Colt League team, our Super Colt team, our 12 under girls, and our 15 under girls. And just by a twist of fate, our 18-year-old girls who should have been there kind of didn't make it.
As a matter of fact,
And-
we got a rematch coming up. Tell them about the rematch.
Of those 6 games, Brookline took 5 titles.
That's great.
All right.
The Mayor's Cup is something
It was
very
huge.
impressive. It's on display at the mayor's office. If you ever go there, you can see it's right in the lobby there. And
Oh.
Brookline has a lot of hardware on that thing.
And just imagine the thrill of being a kid, something that we didn't get when we were younger, of being able to play at the Pirates ball
at
field.
PNC
I mean,
Park.
come on. That's huge.
We have a rematch coming the day of the event, right?
Yes.
You just set that up. Tell them about that.
Yeah, we managed to the Brookline Beachview Super Colt game. Brookline won 5-4. It was a back and forth game. Beachview was up 4-3 going into the top of the 7th. Brookline came back with 2, and then Nick Roll got in there on the mound in the last bottom half of the 7th and shut him down. And Brookline, took home their 5th title of the year. But we've managed to get those 2 teams to agree to come back and play a game, little exhibition down at the park. Now, not all the kids are going to be there. We're talking about 17 and 18-year-olds, so some of them are having to go to college, so they won't be around. A couple are on vacation, so we're kind of going to be winging it a little bit. It's going to be more of just a fun game. But
important thing is we got it booked.
But we got it booked. We got the umps. We got
and that's
the balls.
taking
we
place
got
the
bats.
day of the event, right?
Yeah. 1 o'clock, I think.
It's going to either be at 12 or 1 o'clock, so we're working on that detail right now.
Be real fun to watch.
It's just going to be another fun thing in a day full of fun stuff.
One thing I wanted to mention, too, we talk about other attractions that we got going on. We have a character artist going to be there. Anthony Calizzi is going to be there. He's going to be doing characters at the gazebo. We have a fit. I'm sorry.
All right.
We're going to get a Todd DeFazio show character of all of us.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anthony will do that.
It's on our to-do list.
Yeah, Anthony will definitely do that. And we're going to have a great attraction early the first thing in the morning. We're going to do a yoga fitness class. We're going to have that going on.
I'm just kidding.
So
You're not coming. You can't handle that.
So Todd will not be present for that.
I got you. Well, we got to put it on anyway. Regardless, it's going to be going on. And again, we have the bands, the food, the entertainment, the car cruise. This is the first time we're doing it. We're looking forward. Just say a little prayer. We get good weather.
Right.
Exactly.
And one thing I did want to throw in, since my better half is here this evening, you asked about special memories at Moore Park.
Yeah,
right?
I want to hear yours.
You want to hear this? You want to hear the story? All right. So back in the day when we were kids, my wife used to come to the pool every day. She came every day, and I was just another Moore Park kid hanging out, right? Well, we would hang around in the pool all day together. We would hang out in the pool, and then we would leave and go our separate ways. Well, then I would make my way down to my home, get my father's vehicle, and I would drive up Pioneer Avenue as my then girlfriend, bride-to-be, not even girlfriend at the time. Were we girlfriend and boyfriend then? I can't remember. Yeah, and when I would just pick her up and I would ride her home. So those were great memories. Those were great memories we had.
Chivalry's not dead.
Pardon me?
Chivalry's not dead.
Chivalry is not dead. You're absolutely right. No question.
You know how I met your wife?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here's a funny story for you. I mean, you ready, Mrs. Garino? I'm doing my research into Brookline history, and a photographer, Tommy Zucco, comes up with a load of Brookline Royals photos. It's a cache. And I'm like, okay, this is great. So I'm talking with Tony. He's hitting me up with all these clips. I'm going through all these pictures. Almost every player that played for the Royals has got a mugshot in there. But there's also a couple pictures of this woman who's tagging around with the team, and I'm thinking, oh, man, she's like pretty.
Oh.
And she kept catching my eye. So as I'm going through and I'm formatting these photos and figuring out how I'm going to do this webpage, I'm like, I got to throw a couple pictures of this girl in there, And I did. Now, as I'm showing Tony the page, I'm like, Tony, who's this chick, man? She's like, what? That's my wife. Okay. She's blushing, but so am I.
That is a true story.
And ironically, she says she dated my Uncle Danny there for a little while, too.
Oh,
So,
wow.
hey.
Good to see the spark still there.
So,
The chemistry is definitely still there. You
So
got to go.
then,
Hey,
when I come to this event
we have a lot
at
of
Moore, I'm
good
gonna
on you, boss.
I'm gonna meet the love of my life when I go down to this event.
It's definitely a place
really
that
hope
it could happen.
It's interesting that
The
you say
the
that.
clock is ticking.
No, it's interesting that you say that, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my oldest daughter, I've been really fortunate. I was raised through the park. I raised my 3 daughters through the park. We still reside in Brookline. My granddaughters now show up from time to time, although they're older now, they're doing their own thing. But my oldest daughter, Gina, my youngest daughter, Leah's here with us this evening, but my oldest daughter, Gina, met her husband on the basketball court at
Oh,
Moore
wow.
Park. So go figure.
I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling,
could
guys.
happen.
You're all invited to the wedding.
Eligible.
Yeah, we want to be at the
Eligible bachelors, come see the great Hannah.
That's
Jalapeno Hannah will
throwing
be
it out
on the
there.
I
stage
love it. I love it.
at the Red Tent. It's her nickname for her, Jalapeno Hannah. Actually, her goal in life is to be one of the pierogies at the Pirate game. She wants to
I'm
be
Polish. My name is Hannah.
We
Yeah.
should be able to. We know some
I
people.
should
We
be.
know some people.
I should be it all year.
No
ra-
reason.
Might be able to
all
work
year
that
round.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no
Or
reason.
just for one game.
Yeah.
Just
out.
for
One
one.
game.
They call him the mayor.
One game.
Someone has to have a connect with the
And
Pirates.
just so you know what you're looking for, that what you're looking for in Italian, finding that love of your life.
Yeah.
And you want us to help you, right?
Yes, please.
It's called a mosciata.
Oh.
Mosciata in Italian means we're going to fix you up.
Okay.
We're going to find one here, one there. We're going to put you together. So we can make a mosciata for you on
Oh,
the 24th.
man.
We're going to try.
That's
I appreciate
amazing.
it.
All right, there you go. All right, very good.
Well, Tony, don't go too
I
far
trust
away.
you.
You know what? With all the crazy stories and like a lot of ties to Hollywood and movies being filmed in Pittsburgh, I'm surprised that there isn't a movie about Brookline.
Interesting. Well, here's the deal.
Actually,
Go ahead.
Tonya Caruso, it was 10 years ago maybe, she approached me as a historian and asked if she could do a special Have You Been to Brookline segment. There's a nice hour-long, look at the community, a lot of history in there, and it really
So
worked out
is it
well.
a documentary type?
It was a
type
WQED.
movie?
You can look it up. You can catch
Okay.
it. You can catch it on BrooklineConnection.com. We have a link to it.
Are you
really?
in the episode?
I am in that episode. I do a lot of speaking. I was very nervous, and it's amazing what these guys can do on the chopping room floor.
So
they
like
made
they
me
ha-
look good. And
They
believe
had
me, I was a
Kennywood
basket
memories.
case.
Was that kind of like,
I'm
Kennywood
doing
memories?
much better tonight.
Like Brookline memories.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one.
I didn't what? Yeah, you never seen the Kennywood memories?
No, that one. I've seen the ones on QED. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the Brookline.
But the Brookline
But
one
it's
is
very
on
similar.
BrooklineConnection.com, and you can check it out. And
cool.
Clint's TV debut. Is that your debut?
I
I'm
do
sure-
believe it was, except for maybe a couple of appearances down at City Council, But
But my point though, what I was trying to get at, like movies like The Sandlot, like the passion that you guys have and the stories.
I was just thinking
and
that.
all the sports history and the buddies. I would love to see like a Moore Park movie, like similar to like The Sandlot or something.
It's great that you say. I cracked on him not long ago. I said, "When are we going to write a book?" And he said to me, "Well, what are we going to do? Write it about you?" I said, "No, you're not going to write it about me."
But you got to be one of the characters.
I just want to be a
With
character
your white shoes.
Yeah, I just want to be a character. That's all. Because there's many of us, and Brookline was famous, or the Moore Park was famous, but there was some infamous spots as well. We won't talk about those.
If you're going to make a movie about Brookline,
Go ahead.
And you tight knit communities. Now I already have heat because I'm from Dormont. So
You're a neighbor, Brett. You're a neighbor.
We're all neighbors, and there's all love. There's all love. But if you're going to do a movie about Brookline movie, and you talk about Sandlots. Can I be Squints? I just think
He
that
definitely
would
could be one of
for
the.
me.
Was there a goofy guy in the neighborhood that Brett could play in the movie?
Wait, he went.
are you
the
going to
question
fake? Are you going to fake drowning?
No, the question was.
Brett would do anything.
Peppercorn.
Oiling,
There you
lotioning,
go.
oiling.
The question
lotioning.
was: is there like would you say? Did you call it a goofy guy?
Yeah, is there
There have been many goofy guys that come through Brookline and through Moore Park. I promise.
we could cast Brett as one of those guys.
Just a little shout out for Dormont, from us Brookline people. From us Brookline people,
Yeah.
we love the Hollywood Theater.
There you go.
Hollywood
Okay.
thing.
Let's start. One thing we might have a slight edge on is a pool. Just give us the pool.
Your pool was nice. Your pool was nice.
That's all I got. Okay.
It's cool. It's cool.
See-
We also like the Village Lanes.
When
Oh,
I
yeah, absolutely.
see when I grew up in Brookline, I used to go to the pool that was at the rec center.
Oh yeah,
growing up,
exactly.
But I did go to more, obviously.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad they closed that. It's sad. It was
Yeah,
a beautiful
but then
park.
that's where we went, the Moore Pool.
Exactly. Where did you live at when you were in Brooklyn?
I was in Baldwin Township, so
Oh,
like
Baldwin. Okay, you were
yeah,
right on the border
right
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So
interesting.
It's technically Brookline.
It's interesting that you said about Brookline and Moore Park. When you leave Moore Park, okay, we'll just use that as a starting point. You can probably go like maybe 2 miles, 3 miles max in any direction. Okay, and you're leaving the city of Pittsburgh, and you wind up like 5 boroughs. They're like at Baldwin,
Yeah, right
Castle
around
Shannon,
it.
It's
Dormont.
Beachview.
Well, Beach-
It's like every neighborhood's in like the other street.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take a ride down McNeely Road.
Yeah,
you're
that's
in
where I-
Baldwin, Mount
Yep.
Lebanon,
Lebanon.
Brookline,
Mount Lebanon.
over
Castle
Brook.
Shannon, Dormont.
These are all
Yep.
boroughs. Tell me.
And then once you hit 51, you can get all of them right there. You just get 51 and 88. Boom. You're right.
Oh, you know that, man. You
Brett
got
Perez.
that right.
It's got that right.
Well, I mean, I think everybody has like stories from Moore Park. I mean, the Zuko softball league.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
always
gotta bring in
played there.
the.
Mommy hitting
I
the
gotta
ball
bring
over
in
the light
the. My
standards.
my mom has my older brother was famous, and he was on a little duck at Moore Park.
He was
and
on a little. I'm sorry.
It was a little duck or whatever, like whatever it was, and it said like just ducking around or whatever it was. But yeah, I have to bring the article. So it's my grandma and my older brother on one of the little like I don't know what they were.
Were they? You talking about the cement figures? That
It was
they
like
had?
the like animal.
There's
what-
like a turtle.
Oh, forgive me. You're talking about the one that was on the spring that
yes,
bounced back
yes,
and forth. You're
those were.
absolutely-
But so yeah, I have to bring it in. So yeah, that's a
Yeah, we
memory
need that
too.
for the website.
So because
Yeah.
my grandma's from Brookline,
Send that
so
Tana. Send that to BrooklineConnection.com
Yeah.
and to Clint.
Yeah.
He'll take care of it.
make
He'll
it
put
like
it on
my
there.
mom still has it like in a drawer, like all memories. Like my brother's in this I don't know if it's a Brookline magazine or newspaper.
Interesting. I remember
Yeah.
those ducks. They could be dangerous.
My older brother was really cute, but now I don't know. But yeah, he
don't
was
know if we can-
he was Brookline famous like you guys were.
I don't know if
Or
we can
are.
make you more famous than the Todd DeFazio show has already
Oh,
done.
there you go. He knows how to shine
We're gonna-
the best of them over here.
We're gonna try.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting with when we're talking about the we put together the Moore Park we're all legends in our own mind. So we're all graduates of the Moore
I think
Park
I am.
University.
Yeah.
Right. Some of
So
us
follow
didn't go-
that. Everybody follow that page on Facebook. If you're not from Brookline, you were and you moved away, follow the Moore Park University page. Tony runs it, and
a lot of
follow
fun.
Brookline Connection. Clint runs it as well, and you can keep up to date on history and current things going on in Brookline.
Hey, if I can just give the Brookline Connection one more little plug here. It's not just about Brookline. I have a fascination with Pittsburgh history. I have a very extensive page on Pittsburgh inclines. I've been invited up to the Duquesne Incline to, talk. They're going to actually feature a lot of my webpage on a new visitor area that they're building.
That's awesome.
I've studied Fort Pitt, Fort Duquesne. I just love Pittsburgh, and there's so much Pittsburgh history on the Brookline Connection. You'll love it.
That's it. It was a great plug. He does a great job with that. I'm really glad to have Clint on board helping me with this project, with this celebration, the 80-year celebration that we're putting together. And it's interesting because, I just happen to be one generation. There were generations before us. My
After.
daughters came through, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And you know what? It still thrives very well. And we're pretty lucky in the city of Pittsburgh to have a great facility like Moore Park. Because, you go around the city, economics doesn't allow them to do a lot of things. So we're pretty lucky to have that up there for the kids.
Let's just do a little toast to 80 more years,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
80 more years.
Salute, cheers.
Moore
Salute,
Park.
guys.
Moore Park.
Salute.
We're enjoying it.
Let's
You go, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. You
Sir,
go.
thank
toast
you,
in
sir.
here
All right.
at Redbeard's, right here in Mount Washington on Silo Street. Tonight's Wednesday. It's Wing Night Wednesday. All you can eat wings, $13.99 with a purchase of a beverage. But we're going to start wrapping up, Tony. Let's just run it down one more time. What the great people of this event are going to experience. It's the Moore Park 80th celebration, Saturday, August 24th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's completely free to the public. That means if the weather allows it, the swimming pool is completely free to everybody, adults and kids.
Adults and children.
And the antique car cruise is going to go from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
That's correct. That's
and
correct.
then
we got all kind of things going on. We're going to have live bands all day. We have the city parks roving arts for the kids. We got a lot of things going on for the kids between the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the roving art, the Gaga Ball pit. I mean,
you said
wanna
Gaga
be a
Ball
part of that.
before. I should know what Gaga Ball is, and I'm embarrassed that I have to ask.
Well, Gaga Ball, honestly, I'm ignorant as well. I just found out about it myself. You can go on YouTube. You can check it out. It's actually like a big circle. Brett, you familiar with it, Brett?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, tell me.
That makes sense.
No. You
That he would know.
You guys are the historians. Because I'm going to follow up.
Okay.
A little cross promotion.
Well, it's from what I understand, the kids are able to get in there and they're able to kick around the ball. It's free. It's fun. It's free. It's the chances of someone getting hurt in there are very minimal. You know, that's just a fun time.
Is it kids only or for 32-year-olds too?
Pardon me?
Is it for 32-year-olds
They
too?
may have that session before the day's over. I'm sure.
Kids, come on.
For certain. And we got the band.
I'll let the kids do their thing.
DJ, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Matt Wolfarth, comedian.
Yeah.
Wolfie Comedy.
And if I may, I just want to thank you guys so much, Todd DeFazio, Hannah, and Brett, for doing what you're doing for
Thank
us. We
you,
really,
Tony.
really,
I'm
really
excited for
appreciate
the.
that,
I'm
man.
excited for the event.
So here's to you guys.
Let
Thank
me
you.
echo that
Thank you,
sentiment.
Tony.
Thank you, Todd.
Yes.
Thank you.
Me too, Clint. Thank you.
Thank you to Redbeards for having us here. Thank you for Tony and Clint for including us in this great day. And we're not official Brookliners, but for one day,
I pretty much
You
am.
are now. Honorary.
I go to the lounge a couple days a week, so that's my local watering hole.
Brett, Hannah, you got anything in closing?
Well, I just want to say, you were talking about putting something on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, and it's called Trouble in Paradise for Brett Paradise. Absolutely. And I think that August 24th, I might have to have a special episode, and it won't be Trouble in Paradise. It'll be Pleasure in Paradise.
I totally agree.
I love it.
I totally agree.
It would absolutely be a
Brookline is Paradise will be that title of that episode.
Is Paradise. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh,
love
I
it.
like that.
We
Brookline.
like that, Brett.
I'll bring you some more history.
Well, for you guys, you may not know this.
Huge.
Brett, use Hannah's microphone. For some reason, your mic is cutting out.
Okay.
Use Hannah's microphone.
There you go.
Let's
welcome back.
bring us out. Brett Paradise, for those who don't know, is running for president.
Okay.
I have the hashtag for all you Twitterizers. It's going to be wonderful. It's very classy. It's a very classy promotion. We have this. It's going to be absolutely. I have the most classiest support staff right here. My Secretary of Defense, Hannah Montana.
She's a secretary.
Jalapeno Hannah. I
He
don't
was
know what
giving
she
us
calls me.
jobs
What's she
while
call
we
me?
were off. What's my job, Brett?
What's your? You're Secretary of Agriculture because clearly you know how to eat.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You got a job. I didn't even know we're going to be a part of his
This
team.
is all part of the fantastic, wonderful plan that I have
Okay,
for
so
everybody here. It's going to be huge.
Paradise 2020, huh?
Yeah.
So how do you
Brett
feel?
Paradise for President 2020.
I love it.
How do you feel, presidential candidate Brett Paradise, about the Moore Park 80th celebration?
I think,
We're gonna close on this.
I think it's going to be a fantastic. It's going to be very classy. It's going to be wonderful. We have games for the kids. There's not going to be kids there? You're fired. All right. It's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. There's going to be a dunk tank, and I can't get in. I can't get in it because I can't touch water with my hair. We all know this.
I don't think there's going to be.
I
a
had my
dunk
people
tank.
looking into it. Well, there's going to be water of some sort. I want it away from me.
There's a swimming pool.
There's going to be a swimming pool. Do I have to get in? Todd, you're fired.
All right.
It's going to be very classy. Quite frankly, 80 years. This is going to be, as I would say in my catchphrase, simply huge.
Awesome, Brett.
There
And
it is.
I appreciate
Brett,
them saying
Brett
that.
Paradise running for president
ahead,
in
Brett.
2020.
Paradise
Brett.
2020.
It's going to be fantastic.
You have my vote.
Hannah, anything on the way out?
I'm just very excited.
Excited on
'cause
the event?
Brookline's always been. I'm 32 years old, always a South Hills girl, but Baldwin Township, that's where I live, but everywhere I go is Brookline related.
Yeah.
My grandma's from Brookline, and I'm very excited for the event. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I want to thank Tony and I want to thank Clint for being a part of this and making us a part of the big celebration. Don't forget to come hang out with us. It's a family-friendly event. It's going to be a great time, all ages, all the wonderful sponsors, Redbeards, Rivers Casino, Martin Auto, the Greeno Group, JB Properties, St. Clair Hospital. There's Mike T's Auto Sales, Anthony Coghill, Wayne Fontana, and there's a few others there. Go to the Moore Park University page on Facebook to see all that. And I think we're going to sign off. When we come back, now we're going to be broadcasting live all day on social media from the event, from the Moore Park page, which is going to be great.
Moore Park, be there.
And then after that, the week after that, we'll be back for season 2.
I can't get enough.
We kind of delayed our season
it's like
2.
a little warm up. Just a little taste.
Season 2 is going to be great. And Hannah and I were kind of discussing. A fan of the show sent us some Brett Paradise footage that
Whoa. Wait a minute.
that has been unearthed on the internet.
I can't wait to see
Hold
this.
up.
Brett was on a
Sir.
TV show. I'm just leaving it at that. I'm not going to get any further into that. But that is one thing we'll go into
That's it?
season 2 with.
Oh, my. Okay, this
Brett,
is how we're going to
do you
kick it
recall
off.
this?
I think I know what you're talking about because we're not just talking about my YouTube channel with the Trouble in Paradise.
No, this is an actual television show.
This is an actual television show. Okay, now, this could be a couple because I was on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego when I was 11.
Oh.
I love
Is that
it.
And I was
real?
on Candid Camera when I was 9 at Parkway Center Mall, which doesn't
Jeez.
exist anymore. If it's me, from my early 20s, you guys are all in for a treat then.
Yeah, somebody sent a fan of the show. Found
I can't
Brett.
wait to see it.
My goodness.
It might be
So that's a
the
teaser.
birth of Brett Paradise, too, as well.
Wow.
It's going to be fantastic.
Can't wait.
Oh, my God.
We got to thank everybody again from Redbeards for being great hosts for
Thank
us
you,
today.
Redbeards.
Don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday. All you can eat wings, $13.99 with a beverage purchase. And
Can't beat
it's
that.
just the atmosphere is just great if you're on Mount Washington and you.
I'm telling you, I've been fasting.
Washington.
I've been fasting
So-
for a day and a half. I'm ready. I'm ready to
I think
tear
it's time
some
to get
up.
out of here and let's eat some wings.
Let's do it.
Before my diet bachelor
TD.
party.
Todd DeFazio.
All right, everyone. Thank
See
you
you
for
guys.
thank you for
Bye.
listening to the Todd DeFazio Show on Idiot Radio,
All right.
idiotradio.net.
Giggity.
And again, thank you to Tony and Clint. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you for season
you soon.
2 in Brett's Big TV. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.